Yeah. I.Z.K, aka Intellectual Zion Kid.
What's up, y'all? This is I.Z.K, aka Intellectual Zion Kid of East Vancouver Music, aka EVDM. This is the hood that I grew up in when I first moved to Van City from White Rock, aka Ocean Park, South Surrey, British Columbia. I moved right here to East Van City, Triumph Street, Lakewood Drive. My building right down the street right there, 2155 Triumph Street, Suite 401 is where I lived with my mama and her boyfriend. And I grew up here as a 10-year-old all the way up until 12 years old. I used to play on these streets, I used to walk on these streets, see my homies on these streets, shop with that mini mart down there, and play as a young kid. Growing up in the hood was hard, it was tough, but I knew who I was and why I kept my head raised up. My daddy was a criminal, bad influence, was always out of the picture, but it never fazed me much because I know who I am, I know how strong I am, and the man I'm going to become, and the man I have become. This hood is hard for everybody. A lot of youth and kids in this hood don't really understand the way it is on these streets, but the real version of these streets. They always think it's all about gangbang, criminal life, crime life. Nah, it ain't about that. The hood is about being true to yourself. Being real. Just because you're in the ghetto don't mean you can't grow. You always can grow. And I learned that when I lived in this ghetto as a young top from age 10 till age 12, I had a lot of challenges on my plate. A lot of people was messed up around me, a lot of crime around me, a lot of prostitution, a lot of negativity in this hood on this block, a lot of hardships and a lot of failing and a lot of mishaps. But I still realized one thing. I am a strong man if I choose to be. And that's what I chose to be, was a strong man and overpower this hood, rise above this hood, and become a better man. What up, y'all? This is I.Z.K again. I want to show y'all the second block that I populated in my ghetto hood that I grew up in when I was a little boy. I used to come to this convenience store a lot, come here, play the video games, buy candy, buy pops, hang out with the boys I used to chill with after school, and on the weekends, ride my bike around this block. My mama and her boyfriend used to do laundry here. It was in our studio. This used to be a laundromat right here. And my mom and her boyfriend used to do our laundry here regularly, daily, weekly. Domino's Pizza, very popular spot. Subway, I used to always get my sandwiches here. Mama would give me all kinds of food cards and cash to go get Subway on the regular. And this area right here is a popular spot that people would sit here. Some criminal activity, yeah, you know what I mean, slanging the crack, slanging the down, whatnot. Lots of prostitution. But somehow all the people that hung out here was man enough to tell me, who was only 11 years old at the time, get lost, go run and go play. You better get your butt on a good positive tip in life and stay in school, or you'll be like us, exactly like us one day. And I'm glad to say, somehow I didn't become like that. I've had my times where I've slipped, and I've had my times where I've failed, but I've always gotten back up and tried again and passed the test. This area right here is a very big memoir of my life. It was the first streets I lived on when I first got to East Van. These streets have a lot of history right here. This is my life, my hood, my spot, where I used to grow up and where I used to be, where I used to always be kicking it, yeah. Yo, what up, it's Z, y'all. I want to show you the park I used to play in when I was a young child. I used to sit on that bench, this bench, and that picnic table, and just kick it, sit on the grass and read books, and hang out with the neighborhood chums. In the hood here, sit back and talk to peeps. A lot of people would come and try and guide us in the right direction. There was a woman that even had a youth program. She was from Kitsilano. She came out here with her program every day to try to educate the youth in this hood, give them a positive life and do something positive with their days. And that was a good uplifting thing. Her name was Kay. She was a young woman. I remember her. She really cared about the youth she worked with. And that was a good thing to see in this hood. As you can see, it's a very inner city life vibe out here. And a lot of people don't have what they could have to reach their full potential. And I want to say that growing up in this hood, I learned that life could be difficult, life could be hard, and this was a struggle, but we're gonna make it, and you're gonna make it. That's what I learned about the love in the hood. You'll make it. So this park is a memoir. I want to point out because it taught me the ins and outs of inner city life and how people will accept you and how some people won't, and how you gotta keep your head on your shoulders to make sure you don't fall off. because someone else is doesn't mean you need to. And that's just the bottom line in the hood. You can grow, or you can rot. You can rise, or you can fall. And you can die, or you can live. It's all on you. It's all up to you and how you conduct yourself and how you carry yourself in life. East Van, baby. Van City. What up, y'all? I want to take y'all back down memory lane to remind y'all and tell y'all about this spot in the hood here on the corner of Dundas and Wall Street, where I also used to frequent the McDonald's. Me and Mama used to go there for breakfast and meals all the time, and I used to hit up the block here, Princeton Pub, restaurant, and liquor store. Back in the day, you know, in my crazy days, trying to get liquor there as a minor, like it's really gonna happen. And then going to the Princeton Pub restaurant with my mama, hanging on this block right here. I grew up here. I had friends that lived on this block, short the block, used to hang in the park, used to walk through here every day. Down here, you got Co-op Radio. That's the Co-op Radio station, 102.7, the reggae station that plays reggae music. The reggae show comes on Saturdays at 6 p.m. with George Barrett. I'm not sure if it's 102.7, but it's the Co-op Radio reggae show with George Barrett every Saturday at 6 p.m. Got the block here. This block right here is very populated. Back in the day, it was known to be attractions to all the connections to the P&E. And back to the P&E area, to the downtown Van City area, all the way to the inner city, to the downtown east side, into Hastings, DTS. Life down here, you know, it can be hard to survive in the ghetto, but you gotta remember, you are your own person, you are your own shadow, you are what you become. If you live in the ghetto, you can do better with yourself. If you think you're doing low, you probably are. And you can rise above that. Just because I lived here in these rough streets, don't mean that I couldn't make it. I made it, and now I do music, and I do it for everyone. I do it for y'all. My career is based on my success, and my success is based on my achievements. And my achievements is based on my effort, and my effort is based on my dreams. The dreams I had since I was a young cop. Do something with my life, do something with myself. You don't need to be living on these streets, pistol banging and thug banging. You're a young man with a dream. Follow that dream with positivity. Follow that dream, set a goal for yourself and achieve that goal. Well, you can do it. The only one saying you can't do it is yourself. If you tell yourself, I can achieve this, then you can do this. If you tell yourself, I will achieve this, then you will do that. It's as simple as that. As we wind down to the final 2 minutes of this interview, I want to shout out all the spots in East Van that I showed you all in this journey, in this documentary interview of myself, I.Z.K, aka Intellectual Zion Kid, titled East Van Disciple Music Tale. Yeah, this right here is the hooker stroll, as we used to call it, aka Hookerville, where a lot of hookers would be on this block, and that block, and that corner, that corner, that corner, that corner, and be here all hours of the day and the night, selling themselves, which is so low to do, because you don't need to do those kind of things. When I was walking through here at 10 to 12 years old seeing that, I didn't understand it for what it was, and I thought it was cool. But now I got a lesson for all the youth out there to know. It's not cool to prostitute yourself or be involved in that kind of thing in any way, shape, or form. If you're involved in that, I strongly urge you to get the help you need and get out of it, because you don't need it. And if you are not involved in it, stay out of it, for it brings nothing but trouble in life. It brings nothing but negativity, and it puts you in vulnerability for anything of many dangerous categories to happen to you. You're above that, so be better than that, because you know you can be. So do it. It makes me sad walking down these streets knowing what I used to see, because I didn't know what it was at the time, and Mom always educated me. That kind of thing was bad news, so I always stayed away from it and always avoided it. For those who still don't know how to stand up for themselves and be strong and have a tough time saying no when they're offered such harmful lifestyles, this is my message to you. You can say no. You can be strong and do better for yourself, for other people, and for everyone. You can be that person you need to be and get the help you need to get off the street. The streets got nothing for you. The streets encourage crime. The streets encourage addiction. If you're in the street, get out. If you can't get out, get help to get out. It'll support you in the long run. But nothing is more negative than facing life in prison. or being killed where you stand. For your family will miss you, you'll miss your soul, you'll miss yourself, and you'll lose your life. And then neither of those things are positive. It took me a long time to get a hold of myself in life and realize what I needed to do to survive and what I needed to do to be a man. And now being an uncle of 3 beautiful nephews, I know what I have to do. Set a role model path for them, be positive for them, toward them, and show them what life is all about. For life is about education. Life is about positivity. And we out.